Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we're talking about the Star Wars Episode 7 Force Awakens novelization. And the writer for the novelization is going to be Alan Dean Foster. It should be released digitally when the film comes out, and then in print in January of the following year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Alan Dean Foster, for those of you who don't know him, if you know anything about Star Wars history, that name should be a bit familiar because he actually wrote the original novelization to the original Star Wars. Even though it gave credit to George Lucas, I'm not sure why they put his name on that, but Alan Dean Foster is the guy who wrote it. And then he also wrote, the following year was released, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which was actually the first expanded universe novel, I guess. And originally that was actually supposed to be the sequel to Star Wars. When George Lucas hired Alan Dean Foster in, I think it was late December of 1975, he was supposed to write the novelization for Star Wars and then 2 sequel novels that they would then adapt into films. And what happened is that Star Wars became popular, but the sequel novel, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, was already mostly written. So they're like, okay, we'll just release it as a tie-in, and the real sequel will do something huge, which was then became Empire Strikes Back. He also wrote an Episode 2 tie-in novel called The Approaching Storm. I think that's the only other thing he's done with Star Wars, really. So that's really cool that he's coming back.
Yeah. And in more novel news, there's going to be a tie-in novel for Battlefront being released late this year before the game comes out, which is kind of cool. I guess it's one of the first in the new expanded universe that's coming out, one of the first novelizations that they're writing.
Not the first, but yeah, among the earlier ones.
Yeah. And I don't know, I guess I'll give some background information. It seems kind of weird, though, because there's not going to be any campaign in the game, so what's the story going to be?
I guess that's going to be the stories in the book.
Yeah.
Gotta buy the book.
Yeah, so that's about it for today, guys. We're just talking about the novels. Be sure to leave your comments and talk about whether you like him as an author or any other ideas or comments you have about the novelization for Star Wars, and we'll see you guys next time.